In the news tonight, the COVID-19 death toll rises to 90. The island mourns the loss of a popular entertainer. And in sports, Maloney stays in contention for a podium finish after today's race at Mugello.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. Thanks for joining us. In our top stories tonight, COVID-19 has claimed 2 more lives in Barbados. The latest deaths are that of a 55-year-old man and a 61-year-old woman. Both were unvaccinated. Health officials in a statement revealed the man was in primary isolation at the Harrison Point facility and passed away on Thursday. To date, 90 people have died from COVID-19 in Barbados. Minister of Health and Wellness Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic has extended sincere condolences to the friends and families of the deceased. 129 males and 155 females, meanwhile, make up the 284 new COVID-19 cases recorded on island. 2,389 tests were conducted by the Best dos Santos Public Health Laboratory on Friday. The new cases comprise 56 people under the age of 18 and 228 people who are 18 years and older. There are 519 people in isolation facilities and 2,082 in home isolation. The number of people who have received second doses and are now fully vaccinated is 111,214. That represents 41% of the total population, or 48.7% of the eligible population. And the eligible population represents those people who are 12 years and over. There's been an outbreak of COVID-19 at the St. Michael District Hospital, also known as the Geriatric Hospital. 6 clients and 2 staff members have been infected. Health officials say the 8 cases were recorded at the hospital for the period October 2nd to 8th. They say 5 of the clients, 2 males and 3 females, were immediately separated from the general patient population and given the appropriate medical care. 1 client had to be transferred to an isolation facility for further medical treatment. A quarantine facility has been set up for those who present with COVID-19 symptoms, and the facility has been expanded to accommodate clients in continued care in a safe setting. Most of the population of the hospital, and that's over 90%, is fully vaccinated. Additionally, since the first case was recorded in March 2020, visitors have not been allowed, and people who work or conduct business on the hospital's compound are screened before entering. Routine testing is also carried out at the institution. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says it will continue to manage the situation at the geriatric hospital and ensure measures are implemented to prevent further spread of COVID-19 within that facility. Well, we're also hearing tonight that the Accident and Emergency Department of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital is now only accepting cases classified as emergencies. In a release, the COVID-19 public advisor, David Ellis, said it's due to the current COVID-19 situation, which has been exacerbated by the closure of the 24-hour Winston Scott Polyclinic. That facility has been closed as a result of the untimely death of a member of the healthcare team there and is expected to reopen on Monday. The release said, as usual, the A&D department should not see patients with mild symptoms, non-emergencies, or those who are coming for testing. The hospital is advising that all patients presenting to the A&D will be assessed by experienced nursing and medical professionals and advised appropriately. People who are not found to have an emergency case will be referred elsewhere. People with cancer are being encouraged to talk to their medical provider about getting vaccinated against COVID-19. The advice from Public Relations Officer of Cancer Support Services, Antoine Williams. He was speaking to the media on the sidelines of the organization's 9th annual conference.
They should talk to the healthcare provider first. Again, I can tell you from my own personal experience, I've had my vaccinations, but I ensured that I made that connection with my medical providers so that they can say yes or no. They just need to know, well, okay, you've finished chemo, your body is strong enough to adjust, and just go for it.
The theme of this year's conference is Integrative Approach to Cancer Care and focuses on what's new as far as cancer care is concerned. For the first time, presentations were done using a hybrid approach as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Williams says one of the highlights of this year's conference is the start of relationships with two overseas companies, Cancer Treatment Centers of America and Genesis Care. He expects it will benefit patients traveling abroad for care.
You don't have to worry about all of the things like accommodation, your accommodation, your appointments with the doctors and so on. So it certainly allows for an easier access. And out of these presentations, we sincerely trust that they can even perhaps provide a base here in Barbados so that persons don't necessarily have to travel out of Barbados. And those patients who are overseas can certainly come to Barbados and enjoy our own hospitality and services.
A flash flood warning is in effect for Barbados until midnight. According to the Barbados Meteorological Service, a surface to mid-level trough is affecting the island and is expected to generate maximum rainfall accumulations of 25 to 75 millimeters in heavy showers. Met officials say the flash flood warning will be terminated at midnight. However, this warning may be extended if conditions warrant. And of course, we will have more details about that later on in the weather segment. Lord Radio, the man credited with helping develop the island's tourism product through his music, passed away this morning. And tributes have been pouring in for the entertainer, whose real name is Oliver Broom. Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley, in extending condolences, said Lord Radio had given more than half a century of his life to the entertainment industry. She says the folksy, authentic calypso style he took into the hotels when the industry was fledgling was a big part of what helped to establish the island's enviable record for repeat visitors. Miss Motley says Lord Radio and his Bimshire Boys band were also regular fixtures on the touring stage. She says he made a name for himself across the region, the United States and Canada, as well as Europe. Lord Radio had reflected on his work on the local hotel circuit and in an interview, that is, with the CBC.
Wasn't very much money made in those days, but I believe that all musicians and entertainers enjoyed what they were doing. And it was something to look forward to, going into the hotels and so on to perform.
And Desmond Weeks, formerly of the Draytons too, says he kept in contact with Lord Radio, noting the news of his death saddens him. The promoter remembers Lord Radio as a no-nonsense man who took his profession seriously.
It was almost perfection he wanted to put out there where entertainment is concerned. I know him running a couple bands and so on, the Bimshire Boys, you know, and with the late Lionel Mitch Springer and so on. But it is very sad to hear when you lost someone like Lord Radio. One thing I remembered is that he has done his last local show on my show, Mom, This One's For You. Told me he was just coming back out to do that show for me, you know.
It calls my name, it seems, though near or far, I ever will be yours, sincerely.
Barbadians have been reacting to the news that the Barbados Light and Power Company is requesting a rate increase. Trevor Thorpe has that story.
There's concern that an increase in electricity rates at this time will hurt the local economy. And Bridgetown businessman Hazel Butcher wants the Light and Power Company to reconsider its decision.
We are in dire circumstances. Little or no revenue is going around, and the Light and Power is asking for an increase based on the fact that they previously said not so long ago that they were putting in photovoltaic cells, which was to do what? Reduce the cost of electricity. And now they're asking for a rate increase. It does not make sense at all whatsoever.
From the office and onto the street, the cry is the same. Not at this time.
Let the public not be capped, no rates. It's unfair to poor people. It's very unfair.
Current COVID is so hard for everybody, and you ain't getting a raise, and places closing down. And you can handle, you understand, but you can only handle that. I think we give you a chance to after COVID, or Barbados get back a little itself.
Another female says she's still mulling over the news, and it has made her vexed.
Some people don't even have nothing, so I don't understand them.
This man says a rate increase at this time will cause prices to go up in Barbados.
In these days, if the power cut rates, that means the rate of everything going up that is used electricity, right? I don't think people go all last train.
Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Thanks, Trevor. Well, police have destroyed a quantity of seized narcotics, including cocaine and hundreds of marijuana plants. They went up in smoke during a drug destruction exercise at the Bridgetown port. Acting Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Inspector Stephen Griffith, says the drugs were seized as a result of police investigations and cases in law courts that are now adjudicated. They were in the possession of stations in the Police Bridgetown Division.
There are some 700 plants of various sizes. There's about 20 grams of cocaine. Okay. And all matters in respect of these drugs are being adjudicated. Therefore, we will now destroy these drugs very shortly. As you can see, they're being put together by police officers, and as soon as that part of the process is completed, we will start the destruction of the drugs.
Pete Franco and Rashid Hughes rode away with a purse of $25,000 at the Garrison Savannah this evening in the featured race of the Passing Parade Race Day. It was race 7, the Elias Halut Memorial Handicap.
Racing, and everyone got off to a pretty good beginning. Speed Franco is the one who will take the early running. So it's Speed Franco in the green jacket with red cap who leads. Coming across from the outside to dispute that lead is Island Cotton in the black with blue cap, and she comes on to pick it up. So Island Cotton leads from Speed Franco. On the outside, Queen of Pitons in the blue with the red cap. Yellow nose band races 3 wide into third. Then there's Stolen in the blue with striped sleeves, and the back marker in the black and gold colors is Good Vibration. As the Thunder passes stands the first time or entered the paddock band, it is Island Cotton who leads just by about a length from Speed Franco. Caught a little bit wide there was Queen of Pitons. Down the inside of her is Stolen, and then there's a length of break before we get to Good Vibration. The quintet heads off down the back stretch after a half of 50 and 3. And it is now Speed Franco who goes on to lead. Opens up by a length and a half from Queen of Pitons. Stolen is next. Then there's Good Vibration. Island Cotton has called it a day, has dropped back to accompany the ambulance as they round the far turn and head up back towards their departure point. And Speed Franco in front by just about 3 parts of a length from Queen of Pitons. Stolen is next. Good Vibration runs a big race fourth and is a long way back to Island Cotton. The 6th was completed in 1:16 and 1. And Speed Franco still the leader. On the outside here, Good Vibration with a grand run coming between horses. Queen of Pitons, Stolen is next, and there are no more turns, and it's Speed Franco in front. On the outside here's Good Vibration rattling home, but Speed Franco on the right hand drive. Good Vibration trying to close, but is not going to get there. Speed Franco is going to win it. Hands in his first win here at the Garrison.
A former St. Leonard's and Combermere Old scholar is now the man fueling the success behind the development of cricket in the USA. Kurt Graves, a former manager of the Barbados Tridents, is the new operations manager of USA Cricket, following stints in the Indian Premier League and the CPL. While speaking on Mass United Insurance's Line and Length, he said his goal is to get cricket in the schools and the colleges.
I want my name to be in the history pages as relates to one of the people spearheading cricket to be on full scholarships in schools like University of Miami and all these big football and basketball playing schools. That's my legacy.
So what is it in terms of getting cricket being played in the USA if it was, let's say, a Barbadian with USA ties? How can I get to the USA to play cricket? Because you have, got premises there. You've got Shane Dulwich is playing, Raymond Reefer, Narcine Dinarai. But how can someone watching now say to themselves, I would like to go to the USA and start playing cricket? What's the process?
Again, no, you have a platform that you can reach out to different minor league teams. But even if you're not at the level of a minor league, there's a lot of club cricket is about being seen. It is not like playing in Barbados on a Saturday and playing at Carlton where you have crowds. We're 52 states. So cricket is played across the entire country. So after someone wanting to get up to the US to play, my thing is engage myself, engage players who've been here playing in the minor league, use their contacts, reach out, express interest in coming over.
You can get more news on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram at CBC News Barbados, as well as Facebook at cbcnews.bb. And there's also our radio stations, 947, 100.7 and 98.1, The One. That's news. Good night.
Thanks for visiting us. To get more stories like this one, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.